Hi, I'm Amy Shannon from Amy's Bookshelf Reviews, and this is a video review for legacy author Firesmith. On November 15th of 2024, he has a new book coming in called More Future Dreams and Nightmares, and it's a collection of stories. They have to do with technology. It's kind of science fiction, but it's also hard science because, I'm basically thinking that some of the stories could come true. Look, I'm one of those believers that you never know. The Terminator movies were correct. Um, a lot of sci-fi war shows were correct beyond their years. So I enjoy reading his short stories, and I have written a review, and I want to talk a little bit about his book. But first, I'm going to tell you the book description. So it's 18 more visionary, thought-provoking science fiction gems that take you on a faster-than-light journey to the worlds of dreams and nightmares. And it is very so realistic that you think, oh, well, considering all the new technology, this could actually happen. So whether you're intrigued by ethical ramifications of future technology or fascinated by the mysteries of the cosmos, More Future Dreams and Nightmares will enthrall you with its mental creativity and intellectual depth. But that's part of this book description. In the book, there are several titles, 18, The Mannequin, The Companion, Freedom, Eva, The Awakening, Unshackled, Paradox, Laurel, Atonement, Post-Labor Liberation, See Something, Say Something, The Discovery, The Android Assassin, Jonathan's Avatar, Relativity War, Faith of Our Fathers, Diamonds in Her Hair, and Oceans of the Night. And I must say that I enjoy reading all of these short stories, and I've had the opportunity to read the individual short stories as kind of a preview. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to put them in this book and then add more that I have read. So it's very exciting. And one of my stories that I really liked, and it's called The Mannequin. And I just want to read a little snippet before I get into my actual review. So in reading The Mannequin, to set the stage, these medical interns are doing their final exam. They're using artificial intelligence, what they call mannequins, that will portray the patient. And it's supposed to be as real, they're programmed to be as realistic as possible. So they are setting the stage and seeing how the interns will react. This is Sally Emerson, like the EMTs announced as they rolled the gurney up to the operating table and began unbuckling the stretcher from the journey. She's 11 years old and has been shot twice, once in her right thigh and once in her upper left arm. Let's get her across, Dominic said. I count 1, 2, 3. The mannequin screamed in pain as Ellie and Dominic reached over the operating table to assist the EMTs in sliding the stretcher. She was lucky, the EMT continued. SWAT took down the shooter within seconds of shooting her. Liar, the mannequin shouted. He paused for a second, taken aback by the mannequin's unexpected outburst. Then he continued with his summary, disregarding her accusation. Someone on the SWAT team applied a tourniquet to her leg within 2 to 3 minutes of being shot. He glanced up at the clock. Why are you lying? The mannequin asked through gritted teeth. Why are you doing this to me? Although clearly confused, the EMT gamely carried on. That was approximately 13 minutes ago. Once we got her in the ambulance, we started an IV, applied a splint to her leg, but she pulled out the IV and kept keeping us with her good leg. Since we were close to the hospital, we was better to leave those tasks to you rather than risk further injuring herself by fighting us. Move ahead a little bit more. She was, no, stay away from me, the mannequin screamed, batting his hands on the uninjured arm. The look of terror on her face was shocking. Sally, you're in the hospital. Safe now. Take good care of you. The shooter's dead. We can't hurt you. With tears streaming down her pale cheeks, the mannequin asked, why is everyone lying to me? I woke up in a room at the far end of the hall. They tied me down. A man shot me twice. I was sure he was going to kill me, but then he wheeled me and brought me here. Mannequin. Well, something was terribly wrong. The mannequin returned to the room where they store the mannequins and give them injuries and infections for training exercise and exam. It was not following the exam script. It was behaving exactly like a real person who had been shot. So that's just a portion of. So I want to jump right into a review for these short stories. Excuse me. I gave this one 5 stars. Donald Firesmith writes with ease and talent. In more future dreams and nightmares, the reader is treated to a multitude of short stories. Donald Firesmith has an amazing talent for writing short stories that are not only interesting and intriguing, but can be a bit scary when he brings in the technologies and the what ifs, especially when artificial intelligence is involved. I was honored to read several of his short stories prior to them being compiled in this book, but I still read it through completely and didn't stop until the final story. There are twists, and what happens in each story is unexpected. Stories may be short, but they are grand reads. The reader ends up hanging on every word, and it's an unpredictable layered group of stories with realistic characters and technologies. One of my other favorites was Atonement, where the reader met a firefighter who entered the North Tower on 9/11. Jack tells a story as he enters the smoke-filled, terror-filled building and shares the indescribable pain and suffering of the deaths of its occupants. He does his best to help those who are still alive when something happens. The unimaginable happens. The door on the 35th floor opens to the North Tower with a human robot, a robot so well developed beyond the technology of the time, welcoming them to sanctuary. The survivors enter the room, revealing more robots who tend to be injured. All of a sudden, the survivors realize this isn't like they say no. If they stayed in the town, they all perished a terrorizing death. It's a very interesting story, and it's almost a kick to watch for the afterlife. However, adjustments to your family believing you're dead and you're in the world, what would you do? And what would another story, you know, how if you're in a whole world, would you go back and be gone or as fate planned? I don't know. Another story, The Companion, made me question what I would do if I had made. Each story is grand in its own way, telling stories that the author was inspired to write, and each story has its ups and downs and makes the reader wonder about. It's such a future of AI, which is not too far away. If tech goes the way it's going, it is the end of the world as we know it. So that is my review of More Future Dreams and Nightmares by Dr. Firesmith. And I highly recommend you pick up a copy and you can treatment for the first 15 series. If you have not read Don Firesmith's work before, you may want to check out his other books because they were just amazing. This has been Amy's Bookshelf Reviews, the video review for many of my favorite books. So many that I can't just thank you. Be safe and be well.